Hey, good morning. Hope you guys are having a good morning so far. Happy Halloween, even though it really doesn't seem much like Halloween this year with COVID. I know some people have made some adjustments in doing drive-by Halloweens and things of that nature, but it just seems kind of strange. It seems odd this year. Plus the full moon, and we have to set our clocks back. The triple threat. At any rate, um, this is a time of year a lot of people go to pumpkin patches and apple orchards and go to farms and do visits and things of that nature. So this book is very appropriate for this time of year. It's called Duck Duck, Thankful for Luck. And if you can see the cover, you see the farm in the background, and you see this little mallard duck right here. This is Bill. I think it's cute. His name is Bill. He has a duck bill, and his name is Bill. Ha ha ha. Anyway, Bill is the pseudo narrator of this story. Um, Bill is the duck mentioned in the story, and he takes the readers on a little trip around the farm where he lives. And in the middle of the tour that he's giving, he notices something that really shouldn't be around. Something that would threaten the business, something that would threaten the health and safety of the other animals. So he tracks this other thing and, come to find out, finds another animal that isn't on the property on a regular basis. Let's just put it that way. He's a stray, a stowaway, whatever you want to call it. And towards the end of the book, the farmer ends up adopting this other animal. So it's a nice, cute little book, very appropriate for youngsters. I had worked daycare and had volunteered in church nurseries and things of that nature for a number of years. And if this were on the shelf when I worked daycare, I would definitely pick this up and read this to the kids. It's a great seasonal book. And as you can tell, the illustrations are very bright and really detailed. The author is Jennifer Asher, I hope. And the illustrations are by Mitch Antonio. And really good pairing. Jennifer is actually part of a group that they're mom writers, I guess is the best way to put it. There's a small group of women that get together and they write. It's called Story Mothers Incorporated, and they are women who write books for their kids, for children. So I thought that was kind of cool when I was looking it up. But as you can see, there's a mother's dedication in the front, which is sweet. And one thing I really like about the book that makes it very user-friendly, very easy to read, is that it has illustrations on one side and bold print on the other. So you have your picture, and then you have your text. And for anybody that's read volunteering to children or at the library, or if you read to your own kids, or if you work in a school system or nursery or something like that, you know the best way to read is like this. So this way you can hold the book up, the kids can see the pictures, and then you can read without covering up the picture. So that's good. And it's nice big bold black print, so you can read it pretty easily. So it reads well this way. And then if you are with your kids and you're holding the book, at story time, and you hold it this way, it's real easy to point at the words. You can use word identification. You can point, pick all the words out. And spend some time looking at the picture and identifying, oh, what's this? That's the barn. That's the the corn, the whatever. There's a page for, I mean, this book has everything that you can think of when it comes to a kid's farm. I had mentioned in my written book review to Amazon that it seems that every generation seems to have the book for farm animals and identifying farm animals and taking a trip to the farm and things of that nature. And I think this book is good for the kids that are coming up, because everything that is in a current privately owned farm business that has a pumpkin patch or an apple orchard or strawberries or anything of that nature, they have the playground, they have the hay rides, they have the store, they have the shop, they have the petting, some even have a petting zoo. And this book has all of that in here. And as I said, Bill is part of the narration. We pick up with Bill at the petting zoo. So he's here at the petting zoo, watching the kids play with the chickens and everything. So about halfway through the book, Bill kind of takes over for narrating. And again, we watch him go to the vegetable stand. He gets to go to the vegetable stand, and he goes in the store. He goes in the barn. He goes to the corn maze. So he shows everybody around the farm, and it's, like I said, it's a really cute book. Sorry for the glare. I'm still trying to play with the lights and the sun and everything. So, Duck Duck, Thankful for Luck. This book is available on Amazon, and it's in paperback for $11.99, and then you pay your tax and your shipping and your handling. And it's also available in a Kindle version. If you have Prime or Kindle Unlimited, you can probably download it for free. If not, it's $1.99, $2.99, somewhere along those lines. So this is, like I said, this is a really, really cute book. And if you have little ones, if you have preschoolers, if you have really young kids, this would be a really good book. And it's also, I forgot to mention this before, it's written in a nice 3 to 4 line rhyme. So, duck, duck, thankful for luck, something, something, something. So it's real easy to read. It's good practice for some kids that are just starting to learn to read. But like I said, if you work with young kids, or if you've worked in a nursery or a daycare, this is, like I said, this would be a go-to book. That's all I have for the review. I do have something extra. Hang on just a minute. With it being 2020, it only fits that certain traditions would be cut out. And ever since I was a child, the TV has always shown The Great Pumpkin. Always. And this year, no Great Pumpkin. What is the world coming to? No Great Pumpkin. That's just nuts. But guess what I found? An old copy. I found my old copy of The Great Pumpkin. And I would love to read the whole book to you, except I forgot how long I had this. I've had this since I was very young, and there's scribble marks in it. All kind of coloring, I either myself or my cousins, we thought we would color in it. So it's not real presentable to read and show you the pictures. But I'll start off and kind of go through a little summary. How about that? Let's just do that. Okay. There was a general feeling around the neighborhood that Linus acted a bit peculiar in the month of October. Each year he got out a piece of his nice stationery and wrote a letter to someone called the Great Pumpkin. And here's the part that we see on TV usually, where he says, "Dear Great Pumpkin, I am looking forward to your arrival on Halloween night." I'll just do it frame by frame. How about that? And it really annoyed Lucy, his sister, because she thought it made her look bad. Snoopy thought it was the funniest thing he ever heard. The only person that Linus thought had it right about the Great Pumpkin was Sally. She listened very carefully as Linus explained the whole story. Each year on Halloween night, the Great Pumpkin rises out of the pumpkin patch, and he thinks of the most sincere and flies through the air with his pack of toys and gives toys to all the good little children all around the world. The other kids on the block weren't much interested in the Great Pumpkin. They were more interested in making costumes to wear when they went out for trick-or-treat. Charlie Brown had intended to be a ghost, but he had a little problem with the scissors and ended up looking more like a peeled potato. Lucy was proud of her witch's mask because she always said that a person should wear a costume that was in direct contrast to their personality. Ha! So, here we have, you guys remember that famous scene, I'm sure. And as we know, Linus convinced Sally to sit in the pumpkin patch with him instead of going out for trick-or-treat. So, there they are, sitting out in the dark. And again, Linus is saying, "Watch! Here's where the Great Pumpkin rises out of the pumpkin patch and sends toys to all the good little children." You can just hear it, right? And the rest of the kids are going trick-or-treating. And some kids get good candy. Poor Charlie Brown, "I got a rock." Right? That was his thing. Somebody said, "I got a popcorn ball. I got a piece of candy. I got a rock." Meanwhile, Snoopy is having his own adventure. Do you remember Snoopy, the World War I flying ace? Well, he decides to go up in his plane. In his imagination, he zoomed through the sky while anti-aircraft shells burst all around him. Just then, he spotted the enemy plane looking for the Red Baron. Remember? Before Snoopy could turn the plane to attack, the Red Baron swooped down upon him and got him. Got him in the engine. And he's sputtering out. Smoke poured out from behind, and Snoopy fought desperately to control the plane. But he couldn't do it, and he knew he was going to crash land. So he was behind enemy lines, and he had to make his way back. So he's out snooping around at night, and he sees the sign to the nearest French town, which is about 70 kilometers, which is 30 miles away. So he goes through the water, and then he crawls on his belly, so he won't be seen at night. And in the meantime, Linus and Sally are still looking up at the sky, trying to find the Great Pumpkin. And then Sally starts to get a little upset. "I hope you haven't been trying to fool me," she said. "And if you try to hold my hand, I'll slug you." You guys remember that line? So Linus is still looking, and Lucy's kind of getting a little annoyed. "Listen, I hear something." And with a low rustle in the grass, he thought he saw a pumpkin rising out of the pumpkin patch. But it wasn't a pumpkin, was it? No, it wasn't. It was Snoopy. And poor Linus fainted. because he thought it was a great pumpkin. And then we hear the rant. There's Lucy. I've been robbed. I waited all night for the great pumpkin and it's just a stupid beagle. And then she gets mad at Linus. I could have been out trick-or-treating. I could have gotten candy. I could have gone to the party. I missed all this. Yep. We know that, right? Okay. Sally left in anger. And there's poor Linus in the pumpkin patch all by himself. About 4 o'clock in the morning, Lucy woke up and decided to go check on her brother. And he wasn't in his bed. So she went outside, put on her coat, and she found him out shivering in the pumpkin patch. Poor guy. So she brought him inside, took off his shoes, tucked him in, and he went to sleep. And then the next morning, we see Linus and Charlie Brown at the wall doing their thinking. I went out for trick-or-treat and all I got was a bag of rocks. Did you ever get to see the great pumpkin? Nope. He never showed up. Well, don't be too disappointed. I've done some stupid things in my life too. And we know what happened there. Linus went on his rant. Stupid? What do you mean, stupid? You just wait till next year. He'll be coming out in the pumpkin. You just wait. You get the idea. So, I couldn't not read The Great Pumpkin today. Just because it's not going to be on TV. That's just too strange. It's going to be available on one of those satellite channels, but it's not going to be the same. So tonight I'm going to have to fish out my copy. I have my own copy of The Great Pumpkin, so I'm going to have to watch it tonight. I hope you enjoyed that with the book review of Duck Duck Thankful for Luck. Again, it's by Jennifer Asher and illustrated by Mitch Antonio. It's available on Amazon for $11.99 paperback. And it's also available in a Kindle version. Hope you have a great day. And I will let you know when we have another book review coming up. We haven't had any to order for a couple of weeks, but I anticipate that we'll have one coming up soon. So look for another notice about the 24 Author Challenge and the kids' book reviews coming up in November. Until then, have a great day and talk to you soon. One viewer.